Should you sell now or wait? Selling real estate in 2026 takes real strategy. Why? Because real estate is always moving up and down. People say real estate values go up for 7 years and down for 7 years. That's primary for tax deductions on improvements that real estate investors take advantage of for tax purposes. 7 up and 7 down. 7 years up plus 7 years down in real estate equals a 14-year real estate cycle. Let's review the facts on the last 50 years of real estate history through its lens to see if it's accurate, which means it could be reliable to help you decide if to sell now or wait. In the last 7 years, the high in the real estate market was in the year 2023, 3 years after COVID started. If you look back about 14 years before COVID, there was the infamous 2008 housing and mortgage crisis. Another 14 to 16 years before that, there was the war in Kuwait. The Gulf War coincided with a recessionary episode and credit stress and lender weakness, which are well-documented features of that downturn. About 14 to 16 years before that, we have Richard Nixon taking the US dollar off the gold standard in the early 1970s. Nixon announced suspension of dollar convertibility to gold, 1971, which created downward pressure in the US economy. That's 50 years of real estate history. Looking back, the 7 up and 7 down metric becomes very reliable for making money or knowing when to sell real estate in the last 50 years. We can use this to see that there are times when things go up and times when things go down. That's how you time the real estate market. So what time is it in the real estate market now in 2026? The last high was in 2023. Using the metric for the last 50 years, to make a serious profit, you'd have to sell approximately 14 years from 2023. Waiting 7 down from that high and then 7 up. That puts us at around 2037. By 2037, the market would have gone down 7 years and up 7 years, allowing you to take advantage of the market's timing to sell at your dream asking price. Sounds bizarre, I know, but if I hadn't researched it and reversed engineered the history from the IRS, gold, Richard Nixon, the war in Kuwait, and the 2008 housing and mortgage crisis, I wouldn't have believed it myself. So if you are okay holding it to 2037, go right ahead. But if it's going to fall apart by then, and it's not worth putting money into, because of 7 down, then thinking about selling it now with confidence makes sense. Why? Because on a 7-year down market, selling real estate in 2026 takes strategy, history, and market knowledge. So here's what you need to know to sell in 2026. Buyers know we are on a 7 down market, from the highs in 2023, which is why they're buying low, and sellers, thinking that we are on a 7-year up market, want to sell for too much. Yet 77% of sellers, right now, are closing for less than they are asking for because buyers are not paying top dollar. And with data coming in showing low jobs due to businesses restructuring for artificial intelligence, cutting most white-collar jobs to AI, poor economy report, high inflation, people struggling since COVID, and so on, all key indicators are pointing to a 7-year down cycle. Why does this matter? Because since 2023, due to COVID creating inflated property values, prices have been coming down. At the same time, you have banks only taking people with perfect money and perfect credit. Who can qualify to buy your property? If you need to sell, but are in these conditions, what can you do? Well, selling in 2026 means rethinking your profit strategy in a whole new way. The way you make your profit is by saving as much as you can from the traditional route. Let me explain. Before, people were okay paying real estate agents 3%, tens of thousands of dollars, plus another 3% to the buyer's agent, tens of thousands more, plus passing inspection and paying for repairs, thousands more, plus closing costs of 1 to 3% easily, another $3,000 to $5,000. What if you could save that? In this market, your profit comes by pocketing those unnecessary expenses from the real estate agent, by finding a real estate investment firm who would, instead, pay all expenses for you, saving you tens of thousands, plus have you participate on the upside if the property sells for more, which you fully maximize your strategy confidently, despite your property not selling at your dream value. Consider the facts. Remember, the markets move in cycles. Let it remind you that getting you, your family, your business through 2026 safely, in case things get worse, perhaps lose your tenants or they lose their jobs, And collecting now while the market is only a few years out from the high is smart. That way, by knowing 7 up and 7 down, will give you the certainty in knowing you maximized your current position instead of hemorrhaging money until 2037 if the costs, maintenance, repairs, updates, etc., in a 7-year down market outweigh the benefits and risks of keeping it long term. History guides the market, but your real life bosses are your short to mid-term needs. If you are a seller who wants to sell and you are ready to think it through, first ask yourself, do I need this money in the next 1 to 3 years? Is this house costing me more than it gives me? Do I need to sell it in this market despite not getting my dream asking price for another 12 to 14 years? If the answer is yes, then it may be time to sell. If you are ready to save on those unnecessary expenses, maximize your net gains by savings, while also participating on the upside in case your property sells for more, and avoid lowball cash offers at 50 to 60 cents on the dollar, then please let us know and we will discuss it with you in further detail. We will pay for all closing costs and no commissions. You don't have to be afraid of not getting the most for your property, making you and your family more than with realtors who charge high commissions and lowball cash offers. Feel free to ask us about it in our new Upside Plus program. In order to sell wisely, you have to think about the facts, the history, your needs, and know where you stand in the timing of the market while staying safe for whatever comes next from the U.S. economy in 2026. We thank you for watching this video and look forward to speaking with you soon about all the ways we can maximize your upside in this market.